I knew something was wrong the moment her fork trembled. Christmas dinner at my parents' house had always been loud, full of clattering plates, overlapping conversations, and my mother's relentless commentary on how no one carved turkey as well as my late father. But that night, everything had a strange tension beneath it, like a violin string pulled too tight. My wife, Emily, sat beside me, staring at her untouched mashed potatoes. My older brother, Mark, sat across from her, not meeting anyone's eyes. No. I felt the air shift before anything was said, like the room itself bracing for impact. Then she blurted it out. I didn't want you finding out like this, but I'm in love with your brother. The clinking, the laughter, the holiday music from the living room, they all died instantly. Silence swallowed us whole. My first instinct wasn't anger. It was disbelief so sharp it felt like glass in my chest. I turned my head slowly, like if I moved too quickly, the entire night would crack open. You're what? I whispered. Her face crumpled slightly, as if she hated what she just said, even though she had chosen to say it. Mark pressed a fist to his mouth, eyes wet, but not with guilt, more like fear. Everyone else froze. Even my mother, who'd never passed up a dramatic moment in her life, went quiet, a hand over her heart. Emily's voice quivered. I tried to tell you earlier, but I couldn't keep pretending. You deserve the truth. I let out a humorless breath. Wow. During dinner. Right now. It just came out, she said, her voice tiny. I pushed my chair back slowly. The legs scraped across the hardwood floor like a scream. And then I heard myself say words I didn't even feel. Thanks for telling me. But the truth was, it felt like she had stabbed me clean through the ribs. Earlier that day. If I had been paying attention, maybe I would have seen signs. Emily had been quiet all morning. She spent too long getting ready, staring into the mirror like she didn't recognize herself. She rejected every attempt I made at casual affection, touching her hand, wrapping my arm around her while we walked to the car. She wasn't cold, just gone. But when someone is fading from you, you only notice the warmth disappearing after it's already cold. Back to the table. My mother finally found her voice. Emily, what, how, when did this? But I didn't want details. Not yet. I couldn't breathe, couldn't think. Couldn't stay sitting in that chair like a man who wasn't falling apart. I need air, I muttered. I didn't look at either of them. I walked out of the dining room, past the Christmas tree with its blinking lights mocking me, and stepped outside into the freezing December night. Cold hit me like a slap. Frost crunched under my boots as I stopped in the middle of my parents' front yard. The breath tore out of me in white clouds. Trailing footsteps behind me. Daniel, wait, Mark's voice said. Course he'd follow. I didn't turn around. Don't. You deserve an explanation. I laughed. Sounded broken. An explanation. For sleeping with my wife. For stealing her love, my life, from right under me? Go ahead. Explain. He winced. We never slept together. I spun around now. What? He shook his head quickly. We didn't. I swear it. But we talked. 4 months. Behind my back. Yes. And you fell in love with her. A single tear slid down his cheek. I didn't mean to. You didn't mean to. I repeated. You don't, accidentally, fall in love with your brother's wife, Mark. He covered his face with both hands. I know. No. I tried to distance myself. She did too. But the more we tried, the worse it got. Something in my chest twisted. Why didn't you tell me earlier? What was I supposed to say? Hey, little brother, I think I'm catching feelings for your wife. Yes, I snapped. Exactly that. Because this is worse. Snowflakes drifted between us, catching in his hair. He looked suddenly older, tired, ashamed. Emily said she couldn't keep lying to you, he murmured. She wanted to tell you tonight privately. I told her not to. I begged her not to. But I think she reached her breaking point. And you? I asked bitterly. Have you reached yours? His shoulders sagged. I would never take her from you, Daniel. I swear I wouldn't. You already did. A long, painful silence stretched between us. Then he whispered, I'm sorry. But the thing about apologies, they don't unbreak anything. Inside the house. When I finally walked back inside, the dining room was still silent. My mother had her arm around my sister, whispering. My aunt looked like she might cry. My niece clutched her mashed potatoes like they might shield her. And Emily sat alone, hands clasped, staring at the tablecloth as if wishing she could disappear into it. When she saw me, she stood quickly. Daniel, please. Let me explain. I held up a hand. Not here. She nodded shakily and followed me into my parents' guest bedroom. The moment the door closed, she burst into tears. I'm so sorry, she whispered. I didn't want it to happen. I didn't plan for it. But I couldn't lie anymore, not to you, not to myself. So you're in love with him. She wiped her face. I don't know what I feel anymore. I'm confused. But I know I care about him. And I care about you. I never wanted to hurt you. You think that matters. My voice cracked. Caring about me while loving him. She shook her head helplessly. I don't even know if what I feel is love or just confusion or something else. But keeping it secret felt like killing a part of me. I thought honesty would help us start healing. Oh, we're healing. Snap. That's what this is. Her lips trembled. I just want to do the right thing. I stared at her, at the woman I had trusted with every piece of me. Then answer something for me, I said. Were you planning to leave me? She froze. Silence answered for her. Emily. Pressed. She swallowed hard. I don't know. Those words hurt more than anything else that night. Not knowing meant she had considered leaving. Not knowing meant she had already pictured a life without me. Not knowing meant she had drifted away long before tonight. The breaking point. I sat on the edge of the bed. My hands were shaking. She sat beside me but didn't touch me. Finally she whispered. Say something, Daniel. What do you want me to say? My voice was low. That I forgive you. That this is okay. That I understand. She looked at me with red, watery eyes. I want you to tell me what you're feeling. I let out a slow, ragged breath. What I'm feeling. I repeated. I'm feeling like I'm waking up from the life I thought we had. Like every memory has a shadow now. Like every moment you seemed distant suddenly makes sense. Her face twisted with guilt. I never betrayed you physically, she said. I swear it. That almost makes it worse, I whispered. Because it means you loved him in a way you never loved me. Her head fell into her hands, sobbing. That's not true. I don't know what's true anymore. Understood. I think we're done for tonight. Maybe longer. Are you leaving? She whispered. No. You are. She looked up shocked. Where will I go? Anywhere but here. Her voice broke. Daniel, please. But I walked to the door and held it open. She stared at me, searching my face for softness, for forgiveness, for something familiar. But I was hollow. Finally she nodded. Okay. She walked out with trembling steps. And I shut the door behind her. Aftermath. Everyone had gathered quietly in the living room, pretending not to listen. Emily grabbed her coat, eyes red, face pale. She murmured a faint Merry Christmas, to no one in particular, and left. The door closed softly behind her. Then the room turned to me. My mother reached me first, pulling me into a tight embrace. Oh, sweetheart, she whispered. I'm so sorry. I didn't hug back. My arms hung at my sides. I felt weightless and heavy at the same time, like grief had changed my gravity. Mark stood in the corner, unable to look at me. I walked past everyone in silence and stepped outside again, staring at the dark driveway where Emily's car had just disappeared. Snow kept falling. Cold. Indifferent. 2 weeks later. The house was too quiet without her. Her toothbrush still sat beside mine. Her books still lined the shelf. Her scarf still hung by the door. But she didn't call. Didn't text. Didn't come back. And I didn't reach out either. Some wounds need silence to learn how deep they go. Mark tried messaging me twice. I ignored him. He eventually stopped trying. On New Year's Eve, as fireworks echoed through the neighborhood, I finally sat down with a blank piece of paper and wrote a single sentence. I loved you more than you loved me. And that's why I have to let you go. I didn't send it. Some things are meant only for the heart to read. 3 months later, I learned through my sister, not from Emily, that she moved to a small apartment across town. Alone. Not with Mark. She needed time, she had said. Time to figure out who she really was. Time to understand her feelings. Time to face what she'd done. And me. I was learning something too. Healing isn't about forgetting. It's about remembering without letting the memory own you. Final scene. One Sunday afternoon, while cleaning out the garage, I came across a box labeled Christmas ornaments. It was hers. Mostly her childhood ornaments her parents had given her. Little wooden figurines. A chipped ceramic angel. A snow globe with a faded sticker. Emily's first Christmas. I stared at the box for a long time. Then I closed it gently and drove across town to her apartment. I rang the doorbell. She opened the door slowly, looking fragile but stronger somehow. We stared at each other for a long, quiet moment. I handed her the box. These are yours. Her eyes filled with tears. Daniel. I'm so sorry. I know, I said softly. I am too. She clutched the box to her chest. Do you hate me? I shook my head. No. I just can't be who I was to you anymore. A single tear rolled down her cheek. I understand. Goodbye, Emily. Goodbye, she whispered. I turned and walked away. And for the first time since Christmas night, the air didn't hurt when I breathed.